as I see it, yes.
Well, there you have it. Looks like we're going to Jared's.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of AZ Rockhound Expeditions. Today, we are touring Jared from Currently Rockhounding's Lapidary shop.
We've invaded.
And it is pretty freaking nice. This is life goals for us.
Yeah.
And the cleanliness is unreal. Do you work here?
I do. Welcome to the shop. You're aiming the camera in a direction that I don't typically aim the camera. Yes.
We started in a
Yeah, I mean, on top of doing like the lapidary stuff, I still, I own a house and vehicles, and along with that comes things like woodworking tools. I don't like woodworking with dead trees. No, I prefer stones. But that still means I have to have a chop saw and all that stuff, and that's back there. Nobody cares about that. People care about this though over here.
Look at that.
Well, welcome to the shop. If you pull back a little bit, you can see there's some stuff here that I always obscure from, being seen, like big lights and things like that, and, more lights and tripods, and
Look at that.
that's usually on the back side of my camera. You're not seeing that.
You are not seeing that.
But, been here almost a year now, and, it's been good. The shop is not done. There's always like a million one things that that I think about and I want done, but I've tried to put a lot of attention to detail into this so I can have a space that is really creative. Like I want to come out and it be clean, and I can come out and I can work on my machines, make cool stuff, and also it's just kind of like it's fun. Can I point out one thing? And I don't think anybody has ever noticed this before.
Yeah.
Okay, so curtains, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have
Fossils.
geologic layer curtains.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
I noticed your very first video.
So a lot of people have noticed that, but what you may not have noticed is that these ones have a fault and they don't line up.
Oh,
Right? The same
Yeah.
There's a fault.
Yeah, there's a
Fault line.
in the system over on that side of the shop.
I love it.
So it's a fun little details that kind of set a shop up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then there's just like some little things like, like stuff from my old rock club. The first rock that I was ever really given, right? That thunder egg right there. Just some stuff like I used to have a shipping container shop, and now I have the tiniest little shipping container. Things like that, rock club stuff, things that are fun memories. And I think that just kind of makes your shop feel a lot more homey.
It does.
Yeah.
Does it feel a little more homey?
Yeah.
But let's give you a tour of the machines. I mean, people don't necessarily want to see my curtains.
Of course they do. Details.
I have my wall of rocks. Okay. These are not all of my rocks, but this is stuff that I like that is kind of purposed for more lapidary use, and that's why it's kind of out here waiting to be worked. I have rocks in the house, of course. Who doesn't have rocks in the house?
Yeah, I have a lot.
So, the slab saw, right? This is a little interesting. I do have a full video up on this, by the way. But we have a voltage and amp monitor here, so I can see how much voltage is in the line, and then when the saw is on, I can see the amperage it's pulling. Dedicated secondary on-off switch. This is a vintage 20-inch Spartan saw, which I love it. And it's a great saw.
Cool.
There is a little bit of a interesting thing in here that most people do not have on their slab saws, but it's really cool. Why don't you come on over to this side real quick, and I'll show you. It's probably going to be I'll show you with. Okay, so your typical vise here, right? These holes on the side, those holes right there, are threaded to a 1/4-20. So that means it's a lot like the Slabosaurus, which is right over there, right? So you can clamp on the edge of a stone and take that very last slab cut out.
Oh my gosh.
Which is awesome.
That's
it's very
pretty
cool
nice.
to be able to have things like that,
Yeah.
It's just like the little things that they thought of back in the 1960s that have kind of been lost a little bit. they've been lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
So fully restored saw.
Love it.
You know, and
Very cool.
I would encourage anybody out there to decorate your shop some with things that you like. And case in point, the first home that we ever had, there's a giant wood pile out back, and I was like, man, I don't even have a way of burning that wood, right? But when I got rid of that wood, I found that axe head under the pile and hung it and made sheaths for it, and now I have like a cool wall hanger, right?
Nice.
Like, you know, it's
really
things
cool.
like that. Where,
Yeah.
you know, it does make a big difference, and just kind of you come out and you're like, oh yeah, you're like, you see things that you like.
Right.
And you know, that's just, you know, just me. I do welding, fabrication stuff as an amateur, you know, like, so, you know, welding table that ends up not getting used enough, welder that doesn't get used enough. But, you know, it's fun, and it helps in the restoration of these machines, you know? Like, if you're going to have old machines, you got to have stuff to take care of the machines.
Yep.
So, you know, like this is one of my favorites here, which is a Wartone NS8 NS8 with the 8x3 expandable drums.
That is so cool.
I make my own diamond products because I'm not a slave to Big Diamond. They're not any of my money.
No.
So yeah, you know, diamond belts. This is my latest Arbor build here. This is a vintage Scott Murray Arbor. The Wartone SS shields. And you know, I did all the other stuff with it. You know, all my mounting up and cleaning and restoration of it. One thing, the bearings for this are a nightmare to find.
Really?
Yeah, so, you know, you got to think, like, lapidary back in the 1940s to the 1960s was very different. The bearings that they used in this Arbor were from a 1963 New Holland tractor. So if you're looking for bearings for one of these Scott Murray lapidary arbors, that's what you got to go.
Wow.
Wow.
I remember when you bought that.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see it finally, like, finished.
Centered wheels.
Wow.
Okay. Most people are familiar with plated. And plated, you get like a paper thin layer of diamond. These have 5 millimeters
Wow.
of diamond on them. They got some weight to them, so they keep spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Side little tip for anybody. This thing right here is amazing. I love it. One of my favorite tools. This is like the most cheap, generic electric duster. If you ever use, like, you know, like the cans of it, they're great, they're expensive, and they can run out. In between your stages, cutting and polishing a rock, blow it off real quick, and then you can check for scratches.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is like so cheap, it doesn't even have a brand on it.
I love it. Genius.
Yeah, and the water system.
I was going to say the water system is genius.
The thing that I hated about my old shop was having to haul buckets of water and have the little fountain pump, and then you're like draining into like a bucket. So the way this is designed is I have attached to my house hot and cold running water, ran out to the shop with PEX. There's multiple shutoff valves for like each machine, and then that goes into lock line, and this is a flexible line that is primarily used in CNC operations for flooding coolant on, you know, your lathe and mill ends and stuff. But it works great for this. So we go PEX, which is mixed. This is all mixed water in this one. So hot and cold goes over here to a mixer, and I can set it. So I can be like, summertime, I might want cooler water running on my hands here in the machine. In the winter, I might want warmer. So I have shut-off valves for everything and extra points within the lock line hub to be able to add future machines. Like, I have a big open space right here, and something here is going to go right here, and I can just plug into this now, and it's good.
Yep.
These all drain, so you can see here, all this stuff is, I'm using a soft silicone medical grade tubing, and I recommend silicone over the vinyl. Vinyl gets hard, and it's like unmanageable.
Yeah.
Underneath here, there is a piece of PVC pipe. And, you know, these hoses go into the PVC pipe, and it literally drains into the outside of the building.
Oh,
Nice.
So you can put rock sludge down these, and it's totally fine.
All right. Not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, it's not hurting anything. And what, worst case scenario, I have like 40 feet of 1.5-inch PVC pipe. If it ever got clogged, throw it out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how much does 40 feet of PVC pipe cost?
Exactly.
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little. So this is the Entaria Entaria machine.
That's where all the magic happens.
Some of it. To be completely honest, a large amount of it still happens on the high-tech flat lap with the fence. So, you know, the fence allows for a perfect 90, and I can get a perfect 45.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
And this is something you can make yourself.
Yep.
Like, this is not a buy it thing. That I made this. Plans are out there for free. You, the viewer, should go make this if you have this machine.
That is really cool.
I like that.
Good idea.
I do like. So there's a lot of aspects with this that I love. Integrated tool that Al made for servicing the machine fits right up here. You know, things like using like a diner cup for your water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Like, it's just things like that where it's like he put attention to detail in it and was like creative with what he was making, and that shows. It's not like a roto molded plastic machine.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like brass wing nuts. You know, it's little things like that where you see it and you're like, oh, he really cared about what he was putting out there in the world.
Right.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Very nice
What
machine.
a cool machine.
I'm gonna say this. Okay, the best trim saw ever to be made, ever to be produced, no longer produced, the Loratone TS10C trim saw. I challenge everybody out there. Okay, U.S. nickel, right?
Oh
What?
my gosh.
What?
Obviously, there's no blade on it right now, but it's on and running.
It is so smooth.
Like butter.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's nuts.
If I could change one thing, I don't like reaching back here for my switch.
Yeah.
I might relocate it and like just do a switch on the wall.
That's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Probably.
it's always like stretching back there.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Secret machine.
Oh.
I'll show you guys later.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, you guys don't get to see
Yeah,
it.
sorry. That's for later.
Richardson's Rock Ranch high-speed sander.
Love it.
I love the high-speed sander. You know, you have to have a nice shop vac with it, right? Like that's kind of a necessary thing. I mean, it is dry sanding.
Yeah.
You will produce some dust, but you know, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. You do have to have like a chunky rock, right? Like it's got to
Yeah.
be like a beefy thing. Like
Oh, yeah.
some people will do finer stuff with it. They're better at it than me. So I use it for like big things like thunder eggs cut in half, like something where you can put a little bit of heat into it. You know, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Being able to do that and do multiple things.
Yep.
Me personally, I get a little impatient. So if I have just one rock, I might overheat it and you can
Right.
get like a heat fracture. But if you're doing like 5 rocks at 220 grit, by the time you get around to the next one, they've cooled
They've
down.
cooled
Yeah,
down.
they're good.
That was the thing I had to learn too, is multiple specimens. Otherwise, getting to that heating fracture point is very easy to get to. Very easy. But I will say this, couple 4 or 5 weeks ago, polished 2 slabs. About that big, 1/4 inch thick, using that.
Yeah.
And it went amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fabulous machine. This is like one of the much older ones, you know. You can usually tell based upon the paint coating on it. They've had variations over the years, and now they are at a metal framed one.
Our friend got the metal framed one. We have the one after this.
Okay.
Yeah, ours has got the gray fleck paint job.
Yeah, the gray fleck.
So this is a great machine, and you can get a good polish on your rocks, but it's not a finished polish.
Nope.
You know, and for that, well, first off, I mean, come on, who doesn't love like cats?
Yeah, who
right.
doesn't?
Like, okay. So, you know, the carpet wheel is awesome. You do need a cover for these, you know, because it's unfortunate, but I do sometimes do other things out here in the shop that's not
Yeah,
just lapidary,
yeah.
and I do have it right next to the high-speed sander. I don't want contamination coming from this over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a big metal disc under there with a thin layer of neoprene. cheap outdoor carpet from Home Depot, and optical grade cerium oxide that gets brushed on, and it spins slow. Like that's a slow wheel, but that's what you want. You want slow heat, friction, and you will have a very, very shiny rock when you're done doing this.
Love the carpet wheel.
Yeah.
I'm a pulley snob. Now, I know a lot of people out there are like, what is a pulley snob? Okay, I do not like die-cast pulleys. I like cast iron, and this is my first time having a glass fiber reinforced nylon pulley, and this thing has been amazing. This is not worn down at all. This big, giant, like 12-inch plastic pulley back there.
Wow.
There's a lot of things that are made out of like glass fiber reinforced nylon, and pulleys apparently are good enough. They're better than that die cast nonsense. So shop sink, like what I said, I can wash rock. You could dump.
I love that.
You could dump like a tumbler slurry down this, and it's fine.
Wow.
It's a lot of the little things.
We need one of those.
This is a safety mixer for the plumbing. So hot and cold come in, and that goes to all the machines, and I can set this to whatever temperature I want.
Wow. That is, oh my gosh.
Since it's not connected to the sewer, you don't have to put like a
P-trap?
P-trap in it.
Oh, wow.
So it's like straight shot out the building. So long as you're not putting like chemicals down it, it's totally fine. Like use natural soaps and that's the plan there.
Yeah.
Got some rocks, got supplies, templates, stencils, saw blades. I own too many lamps.
Too many. Look at that.
Yeah, let's pull this out. I'll show you a couple of lamps. There's a couple here.
Oh my gosh.
I have a lapping problem.
A lapping problem.
It's got a lapping problem. Oh my god.
So there's like 600s, there's all kinds of test laps, extra blanks, cerium, 220s, different aluminum and magnetic things that I've experimented with.
Yeah.
My own mini carpet wheel. The D-lights, 50,000, 14, 3,000, 1,200, 600, 325.
Oh my gosh.
Different fiber ones. We get into electroplated. I have a whole stack of electroplated discs in here. So there's a lot of laps, which it's interesting. There's kind of like two very big different angles that I look at this. Over here, I have some great test rocks that show you can go from like 220 silicon carbide to a carpet wheel and get a great polish. Like skip all the steps basically.
Yeah.
And it blows people's mind when they see it because you're so used to you need 6 stages, 8 stages, right? And there is a visual difference that you can see having that. However, when it comes to doing Entaria work, you need every single grit, and you can't. I mostly do electroplated and then fiber. So sometimes I'll go from a well-worn 180 grit electroplated up to 600 electroplated, then back down to 220 fiber resin, and then all the way up to 50K.
Wow.
Because you're not trying to hammer out a 30 by 60 oval cabochon. You're trying to do something that you might put 16 hours in. Right? That's very different than Thunder Egg.
Yep.
Good.
15 minutes.
So that's why I have my flat lap collection.
Wow.
I love it.
That's really cool.
And then there's you don't have to show under this island, but there's a bunch of there's metal cutting band saws and just all the different stuff that you would want if you mess around with old machines, and that definitely comes in handy to be able to have some mechanical knowledge, fabrication knowledge.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'd be in trouble.
And this is
we were
microscope.
looking at some of your stuff earlier on this.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe not everybody knows what some Entaria is. I'll show you a couple of pieces here.
Let's look at that.
So I don't know if you can focus.
Yep, it is focused.
All right, so what you're looking at here is actually 16 different stones.
Isn't that amazing?
And the back of it, that is actually basalt.
Nice.
All of my black stuff that I use is basalt. You know, there's just a lot of things that you can do with Entaria that you typically wouldn't be able to accomplish otherwise. And it's just kind of a fun exercise in fitment, craft, precision. That's really what it is.
And that one UVs.
Yes.
It is.
It'll UV under this light.
So amazing.
Right, so we have calcite and willemite, and then the middle ring is cyanite with sodalite, and then the black is basalt. And I kind of struggled a little bit trying to figure out how I wanted to. I don't make cabochons. I'm not a fan of doming things. I like things flat.
Flat, yeah.
So to do this and put that kind of angles on things was a little challenging. And this is freehand. A lot of people do Entaria with a faceting machine, and a faceting machine is definitely the superior way to do Entaria pieces, but
Yeah.
you might notice the machine that's not out here, which is a faceting
That's a
machine.
machine. Yeah.
I'm looking at you at Ultratech. I think all three of us, we need like, a round of Ultratechs on the house there.
I know, right?
No, they're not doing that. But that would be pretty nice.
That would be nice. Yeah. I don't think I'd say no.
Yeah.
But, having the 8-inch flat lap, having the Entaria machine, and really all the Entaria machine it's a vertical lap with a perfectly milled flat 90 degree, somewhat similar to what I have over there. And I kind of bounce back and forth between them. A lot of it is working with like little tiny stones, teeny tiny stones that I then later perfectly glue up. And the goal being that is entirely seamless to the naked eye.
Wow.
There is a machine that I don't think I have shown much because I don't use it much, but let's look at that.
Look at that.
All right. So people hate me because of all the crazy deals that I find on all my machines. But think about it like this. You look at your phone 3 times a day. And I also look at my phone at least 3 times a day. I look at Facebook Marketplace in like a 300-mile radius around where I live. And I'm like, I'm finding a deal. Down here, I'll move some of this stuff out of the way real quick. That is the very now rare Lortone 20-inch Oscillap.
Oh, wow.
Now, Oscillaps are amazing in that it does an oscillation like this. If you're a woodworker, you probably know that vibrating palm sanders don't exist anymore. Nobody's running those. Everybody has an oscillating palm sander because an oscillation motion gets a swirl effect. Like the vibrating laps, they have a center post and they like go like this, and you get all this splash, right? Which is not ideal. So we have all these. Forgive my garbage bag mess.
Oh no, it's gotta be stored.
You gotta keep them clean. So this goes on here like this, and obviously it'd be more fitted in there. So you could technically polish up to a 20-inch slab.
Wow.
If you had like a full piece in here, and it will just like and dance around with some grit. You grind a lot faster with this.
Wow.
You grind a lot faster than with an Oscillap than you do with a vibrating lap.
That is sweet.
I like it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
$150.
What?
I can't buy the Leeson motor in this thing for $150.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now you have more haters.
Well, you know what? Facebook Marketplace is a thing, all right? Everybody has access to Facebook Marketplace.
That's true. And you get on at like 3 o'clock in the morning and start looking.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, multiple times a day, I'm like reloading, and like worst case scenario, I could throw that machine in the garbage and take the motor, and I'm still up on the deal, right?
True enough.
It came with 3 pans, okay?
That is insane.
Let me,
that is such a good deal.
I'm gonna get some plastic bags out of the way. I'm gonna show you something kind of cool. So these laps,
Oh yeah, look at that.
Do you see
it.
this shape on here?
Yep.
That shape is from the flywheel on a milling machine. So that shows how little these have been used.
Wow.
I have not even ground through the machining parts.
Oh my god.
Wow.
But yeah, you know, life has happened, and I have not spent much time with this.
Yeah.
I've ran through a batch with it. It likes to eat the grit up. I mean, like, you're going through like a lot of silicon carbide on these. But you know, ideally you have a bunch of big pieces going through it. Actually, so I've done 2 test batches with it, and I was able to go from cut on my saw to finished in about 16 hours.
Wow. That's
Like
not
going
bad.
through all my different stages on this, you know.
That's
So
really
we
good.
have a 220, a 600. So I do 220, 600, and then this one is my new
Carpet wheel.
Oh wow.
I haven't even done this one. I have old carpet in here, and this is my new carpet. I haven't even ran through the carpet on it.
Brand new.
Brand new. So this will get some optical grade cerium, and I'll be able to polish it. It's a big thing.
So how do you replace this portion?
When it wears through eventually,
Yeah.
you make one now.
You have to make one. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering.
Oh, wow.
So in my perfect world, I'm going to fabricate a couple of these out of steel plates. That's my plan, because this is an aluminum disc, and it is going to eat through. Yeah, I'm going to get some steel and make them.
Nice.
And then you're putting grit in there,
Yeah,
or
so it's a little thin film of water and grit,
and then just
and just turn it on.
wow.
Wow.
And they dance. So like,
That's cool.
Okay, I want one.
Right?
I want one.
well, you know, you gotta. To this day, here's the thing: there's a lot of manufacturers out there these days that are just like recycling old ideas. Lortone, rest in peace, Lortone. They actually came up with some really like inventive, unique ideas that have yet to be replicated. Like, we've known about oscillating laps for a long time. Where are the big manufacturers making big machines that do stuff like
Right.
that? They're not making them, you know? This has kind of been knocked off, but they didn't do a very good job with it because we have mixed metals here. And that is one of the reasons why I was so quiet and so soft and so nice, is because we have a ferrous metal base that's been powder coated in stainless steel. One thing that I don't like is a loud shop, right? So, machines with wooden bases, I put wooden bases on these because when you take a motor, if you just mount a motor, you know, the metal base of a motor to a sheet of metal,
It's loud.
it's loud. You mount it to a block of wood, not as loud.
You got sound dampening, yeah.
You take a stainless steel box, if you put it on a stainless steel base, it's going to be loud. You put that on a piece of, you know, like sheet metal, 12 gauge sheet metal, and fold it so it's nice and strong. I mean, powder coat it, nice and quiet. Rubber feet on things. You know, like the Lortone did that stuff, and people aren't doing that stuff anymore.
Yep. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would like to show people your hardware store.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad that there's a hardware store in my town. I'm glad that Home Depot exists. I hate the hardware store, and I hate Home Depot. Right? You go to Home Depot, and they never have the thing that you want when you want it. You know, that's just the way Home Depots are. Yep. So, you know, I try to stock all my own stuff, right? And I have SAE, I have metric, I have all of that. But then, you know, that's nice when you want to grab something exact, right? But I don't always know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm getting into on some of these projects. Some of these old machines that I've refurbished and then sold. You know, there's all kinds of weird hardware, weird things that people have done. So I have my massive collection of like weird hardware that has been semi-sorted, right? Like, you know, we might do something like have a bin of stainless, but it's all like a jumble, right?
Yep.
So, you know, this has been a lifetime of collecting hardware and a lifetime of disdain for going to hardware stores and Home Depots and Lowe's and not having what I want.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you know.
I can understand that.
So
He does everything.
Yeah, I got everything. You know, I got stainless, copper, brass, weird stuff you'll never see anywhere else. You know, miscellaneous washers and just all the things that you would want to have at your disposal. And then you're also kind of looking at my mess. This mess is mine.
That is not a mess.
Yeah, he calls that a mess. I call that organized.
Yeah,
And you know, there's obviously rocks on the floor, and you know, there's things like other machines floating around, and this thing I have started to fall in love with this. And this is a 12-ton hydraulic press that I've been upgrading. This comes from Arbor Freight. You know, one thing that you'll find with old rotten lapidary machines is getting bearings off of arbors, and then also getting pulleys off of shafts and stuff. It's just like fused on there. So having a 12-ton hydraulic press is really, really handy for that.
That's really cool.
24,000 pounds right there.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I've been upgrading that and doing things, putting it on wheels, modifying my Arbor press plates. Nothing too crazy, just stuff.
Wow.
Nice.
It's a little crazy. Like for us, like I could never do this. Like this is for us. I mean, this is a dream. I mean, could you do this?
Some of it, yes. Most of it, no. I'm thinking when we're ready to do the upgrade, we just hire Jared to come on down.
Yeah, we'll just have you.
Yeah.
We'll hire you.
I'll get the space set up, and we'll have a design, and then I'm just going to pay you to go nuts.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I really like about your shop, first of all, organized, clean, inviting, but it's not just a shop. It's a studio.
Yeah.
Because you can do all, like you said, all your filming is done right here, and because of the way that you've designed and you take care of it and you have it going, your studio side is never in disarray or covered in filth and muck and grime. You know, I mean, you look at our shop, which
We're in disarray.
we're in disarray, we're in grime. I mean, we're getting there, but it's.
But we cut rock like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm always cutting something. If I'm not cutting, I'm polishing, kind of thing, trying to get stuff ready and whatnot. But our studio has to be in a separate room, which I actually kind of prefer because in our garage in the summertime, it's well over 100 degrees, and I'm not putting an air conditioner in it.
Mini split. That's my big up. My big upgrades are infrastructure based. You know, anybody that's out there is thinking about building a shop. Infrastructure. Think about your water system. Thinking about power. Thinking about climate control. That makes your space so much more useful. And if you're trying to progress as a lapidary, you want to do lapidary arts. You're a lapidarist. People have to correct that. Think about all the time that you maybe don't have access to your shop because it's 20 degrees,
right?
Or it's 110 degrees. You got to control those things. That would be kind of my starting point. That was my starting point with this, was to do that, get some of the big infrastructure done. I'm going to do more power out here. I mean, in the perfect world, I'll have a mini split pretty soon. I'm in the market for a giant milling machine. Oh, wow. Like a large vertical knee mill. So if you have a Bridgeport, this guy, I'll show up with a trailer. Something like a metal lathe, like a 9-inch swing on it, like 42-inch bed, something like that. Big metal lathe. That's something I need.
And you didn't start out like this. You've been working on this. This has been your dream for a very long time. I've been watching you, I think, since almost in the beginning when you started, and you were very small in your lapidary shop, and it's really cool to see how you've grown and just your dream that has come true.
The dream is to make machines. That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
And I want to make machines that are very different than have ever been made. And I'm not going to compete with China. No. I can't do that, right? Like, I'm not going to have the Chinese government subsidizing my manufacturing facility. Yeah. Because I'm just a guy, right? But I want to do old school manufacturing where you buy something from me and you never contact me again.
Unless it's to buy something else.
Yeah, unless it's to buy another one
Yeah,
maybe or something
yeah.
like that. Because it's going to be perfect, overbuilt, and unbreakable.
That would be awesome.
It's going to be tested, and it's just going to run. It's going to run, you know.
Yeah.
We're talking Lowland Park Lapidary.
Lowland Park Lapidary.
You know, like, that's what I want to do, you know.
Yep.
And it's not going to be cheap stuff. It's going to be the final thing.
Yep.
Right. That's my long-term goal. That is long-term, but like you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like I started in nuclear hot shipping container in baking in the sun. Don't get a shipping container for a shop. If you want to know what it feels like to be in an easy bake oven, a shipping container in the sun is a good way to know what it would be like to be a cupcake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's steps towards that someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Goals. Yeah, now I want to go clean out our shop.
I know. Now we want to clean up.
And reset.
Yeah, reset. And we'd like to thank Jared for taking the time to give us a tour of his lapidary shop. It is absolutely amazing. This is definitely life goals for us.
Well, now I'm going to show you my machine under the blanket and my super special first aid kit.
Oh.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out Jared's channel. He has got so much information, and
Yeah.
he blows my mind.
Yeah, there you go. That answered it right there.
Let me tell you, the channel that I have watched forever and has learned so much from is his channel. So
My life goals are to be as smart as him, but unfortunately,
I don't think you're going to achieve that.
I'll never get there because I'm closing in on the end of my time.
Well, thank you both for coming out and visiting, and it's always fun to show people the shop.
Yeah, your shop's amazing. I'm so happy for what you have achieved here for yourself.
Well, thank you.
It's great.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.